Hey, what's up you guys? It's Lydia, and today I'm going to be doing a pretty white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, so let's get started. I'm so excited. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put some regular concealer. It's a little bit light, but I think we should look pretty light. So I'm going to be putting concealer under my eyes, on my nose, on my forehead, on my eyelids instead of a primer, on my cheeks, a little bit down here, on my chin. You know, just conceal like everything. That's perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to blend that out with a beauty blender. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting on some foundation. I'm going to be putting on a really light foundation because I want our skin to look almost porcelain, and I don't want to do my whole face white for this look because I want it to be more of a pretty look instead of like a creepy, which I will be doing a creepy white rabbit eventually, I promise, because I really want to. But today I'm just going to start off with the pretty one, so I'm going to be using kind of a lighter foundation for my face. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set the rest of my face with some powder. Okay, so after I powdered my face, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover my eyebrows in some concealer. I'm not going to glue them down because I have fairly thin eyebrows. I just want them to look lighter than they are, because we're going to be going over them with face paint later. So that's exciting. So now that you look insane, let's just blend that out real fast. Okay, so now that my eyebrows are looking a little gray, a little bit lighter than they were, we're going to put some powder over them just to set them. Okay, I think that's pretty good. They don't need to be white. I just need them to be a little bit lighter, just a little. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to just put some contour on. Again, this is supposed to be a pretty version of the White Rabbit, so I'm kind of doing pretty normal things so far, but don't worry, it'll get cool later. Just keep watching. Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. I'm going to put a little bit on the jawline. Okay, so once you have that blended out, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the colors I used. I used this contour palette, and I used this shade a little bit, and I used a tiny bit of this shade. Mostly this shade, just a little bit of this shade. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to be doing this part of my face. So okay, so I decided that I wanted to fill in my brows with a little bit of white eyeliner so that they can be a little bit lighter. I decided I want them to be more white, so that's what I'm going to do to this eyebrow. I already did it to the other one. Alright, so that's what I look like. I look crazy. It's okay. It's okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this part of my face that I said I was going to start on. I'm going to take a little bit of water and use my water activated paints in just a white color. And I'm going to start making little whiskers, like little hairs like a rabbit would have. So Okay, so that's what it ended up looking like. You need to make it a lot lighter up towards the center of your lip and try to make them get a little bit less so bright towards the end, and don't make them all one shape, like one length at the end, because it'll look boxy. So try to make them different lengths towards the end. So now I'm going to do this side of my face the exact same way. It won't look the exact same, but that's part of it. Rabbits aren't perfectly symmetrical, so that's a good thing. Okay, so that's what it looks like once I'm done. I think this is as big as I want it to be and as bright as I want it to be. You can go bigger, you can go smaller, you can go less bright, you can go more bright. It's all up to your preference, but this is how I want mine to look. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take that white again, and I think I'm going to fill in my top lip white. What to do is I'm gonna, after I get done filling in my top lip the way that I want it to, I'm gonna set it with some white eyeshadow. I also decided to fill in the whiskers a little bit more towards the center of my lip than they were, just a little bit, just a few extra more hairs. You can do it. I just think I left my bottom lip not filled in because I want to fill it in with a different color, I think. As of right now, that's what I want to do, is I want to fill it in with a different color of lipstick, so, you know, I think it'll look really cool that way. So I'm going to take some white eyeshadow and just dab it on my top lip. Sorry. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some gray eyeshadow. I'm going to be using just a little NYX gray eyeshadow. It's called SOS, and I'm going to be using that to shade some of the hairs on the ends to make it look like they're coming off of my face rather than just painted on my face. They are painted on my face, but we want it to look like they're not. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of an angle brush right here, and I'm going to be taking some gray, just a little bit, and just start adding some little shadows. Okay, so you probably can't see this on camera, but you can really see it in person. So what I'm going to do after I added that is I'm just going to take a little bit of a face brush and just slightly blend the edges, just to make that gray blend a little bit more seamlessly. Okay. Okay, so after that I'm going to be going back in. I'm going to be using, okay, I was using a very fine pointed brush to do the whiskers, and I'm going to be using more of a flat brush to do my eyebrows. I want my eyebrows to be white with face paint. So I'm going to be taking that same white that we used for the face and use it for my eyebrows, just with a different brush. I'm going to be starting off with the natural shape of my eyebrow, and then from there making it look more like a rabbit. Okay, so as you can see, it's not perfect. You can still see my eyebrow hairs. I actually think that it looks pretty cool that way because it looks like there's real hairs, which is kind of adding to the look. So let's do that to the other eyebrow. Okay, so after your eyebrows are filled in white, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the very fine pointed brush and use that one to create some extra hairs that make my eyebrows look a little bit more unkept and a little bit more rabbity and whiskery. I'm going to start at the tip, like the front part of my eyebrow, and I'm not going to do the whole eyebrow this way, just the front part. Okay, that's perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some towards the tail of my brow, just tiny little ones. Alright, and then do the same thing to the other eyebrow. Okay, actually, you know what? The next thing I'm going to be doing is my nose. So, I'm going to take this pink out of the same water activated palette and activate it with some water. And I'm going to use it and create a rabbit nose with it. Okay, so I actually didn't fill in my entire nose. I stopped about midway past my nose, but I went all the way down the center of my nose with it. And I'm going to take it again, but I'm going to use the more defined brush this time, in that same pink. And I'm going to go down the center of my top lip, kind of, all the way from the tip of my nose. Keep your top lip white, but from here to here, make it pink. Just a straight line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some pink glitter, and I'm only going to be using a little bit, but I'm going to be using a lighter pink, and I'm going to try to pat on just a little bit on the tip of my nose. Okay, so once you have that slightly glittered, I'm going to be taking a pink highlighter that I have. It's this one. It's a baked highlighter. It's called Bellini, I think is how you pronounce it. But I'm going to be using it just a little bit on the tip of my nose as well, just for some extra pop. I think it's just a very light pink. There you go. So now it's highlighted. And I'm actually going to be taking that white face paint and the detail brush and getting a small amount on a brush and making a little shine mark on the side of my nose. Just like that. Alright. I think the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the rest of my face. I'm going to be using two different highlighters today. I'm going to be using this one, which is Winky Lux, and it looks white, but it's pink whenever you put it on. I'm going to put that on my cheeks. See how pink it is? And put it right here. And on my brow bone. And do the same thing to the other side. Down the bridge of my nose. A little bit on the tip of my nose. A little bit on the forehead. A little bit on the chin. And I think that's all. Now I'm going to take my highlighter brush and blend that out a little bit so it's not so harsh. Okay, and then I'm going to be using that baked highlighter that we used on our nose the first time and put that everywhere. So my camera shut off and I didn't realize it till now. Okay, I really didn't do that much. I know it looks like I did, but I really didn't. All I did was I took a light eyeshadow from the Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. It's this one right here. And I put that all over my lid. And then what I did was I took this color right here. It's a pink color, and I just put a little bit of that in my crease on both sides. I used both highlighters that I used on my face, this one, and mixed them and put them in the inner corners of my eyes. Then I put that same, this color shade on the bottom of my eyes. I took some of the pink glitter that I used on my nose and put it underneath my eyes and a tiny bit on the top, just a very small amount. And then I did some really dramatic winged eyeliner with black. I put a little bit of white eyeliner in the waterline on my bottom eyes, and that's it. So I'm sorry that my camera cut off and I didn't notice it till now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Luna lipstick, and it's called Elora, and I'm going to be using it on the bottom lip to make it a little bit pink. So your top lip will be white, your bottom lip will be pink. Use light pink to match your nose and your eyes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in some blue contacts because I thought it would really make my eyes stand out because I have very dark eyes. They are very dark brown. So I'm going to be putting in some bright blue contacts just to make it look a little bit more cool, you know? So I'll be right back and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so I threw in some blue contacts and some pink and white bunny ears, a little yellow tank top and red jacket because that's what he wears. And the last touch is some little round circle glasses. So this is my version of a pretty white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time for next video's costume. I'm so excited, I'm having so much fun. Please like and subscribe down there, and comment any ideas that you have for me to try next. Thank you so much. Bye!